denied. Kennedy cousin Michael Skakel remains behind bars, while the judge won't let him out of prison.
Boston Mayor-elect Marty Walsh speaks out the morning after his win. The early outlines of what his mayoral team might look like.
60s tomorrow, but don't get too used to it. Another cold plunge is on the way.
One-on-one with Red Sox manager John Farrell.
You are riding high and you're riding the lows.
What the man who brought a World Series win back to Boston has to say about the future of the team.
Live from our studios in Boston, WBZ News at 5 starts right now. Handing off the baton, Boston past and present mayor meets the city's future leader. Good evening to you. Thanks for being with us this evening. I'm Johnathan, Eilias.
I'm Paula, Ebben. Today we got a glimpse into the future of Boston. Mayor-elect Marty Walsh laid out his agenda. The election was close last night. Take a look. Walsh edged John Connolly 52 to 48%. About 4,900 voters separating the two. The headline on page 1 of the Boston Herald read, "Stand with me." Boston Globe headline, "It's Mayor-elect Walsh." And this morning, Walsh met with Mayor Tom Menino, who wished him well.
We have good hands. I mean, Marty has the ability, I think, to lead the city to the next level. Let's all continue to work together.
I just want to thank Mayor Menino for his kindness today and his advice. He gave me some advice earlier in the room, and I look forward to working with him as we transition.
Walsh promised voters better schools, safer streets, and more jobs. And today, WBZ political analyst John Keller had the chance to talk with the newly elected mayor. And so, John, what does the future hold?
Well, Paula, we zeroed in on one of the most crucial parts of a mayor's job, dealing with the salary and benefit demands of city employee unions. Now, this was perceived during the campaign as a weak point for Walsh, who stepped out as head of a large private sector union to run for mayor, and he was eager to take it on today. Congratulations.
Thanks, John.
The easy part is over. And now the hard work begins for the mayor-elect, starting with that still simmering dispute with the city's school bus drivers, about to erupt again over the firing of some of their union leaders. What's your message to those union members who are claiming that's union busting?
Keep the buses rolling for the kids. When I get in January, we'll sit down and talk about some of the challenges they feel they're getting from the company. But make sure you keep the buses rolling for those kids. Do not stop the buses because when I'm becoming the city of Boston, if the buses stop and they break the contract on a wildcat strike, then there'll be repercussions.
Marty Walsh is a good man. He wants to do good things for Boston.
But is that talk tough enough to reassure critics like John Connolly, who claimed Walsh, a former union leader, would give away the store to city unions clamoring for new, more generous contracts? If you did that in any way, shape, or form, or even hinted that you might do it, wouldn't you be cutting your own throat?
Absolutely, and I'm excited the fact that I was able to win this election because now I can prove all my critics wrong.
And on day one as mayor-elect, Walsh got a tip from a man who knows something about dealing with labor strife.
He said, just be careful and move forward, and he said always keep the residents of the city of Boston number one.
Now, Walsh's resolve will be quickly tested by the controversial award of a 25% raise over 6 years for the City Police Patrolmen's Union, with other significant contracts also coming due soon. Walsh takes office in early January. By Valentine's Day, he may look back on this grueling campaign as a walk in the park by comparison. Isn't that always the way?
Right.
Getting there is one thing. It's what you do when you get there that's the real haul.
And the question for you, because you've covered politics here for so long, is it going to be weird for you all of a sudden? Mayor Menino out of the picture, new mayor. I mean, congratulations to Marty Walsh, but isn't that going to be all awkward?
Jonathan, politicians come and go. I am always here.
You transition easy.
You got it.
John, thanks very much. Speaking of transitioning, well, transition in Lawrence at least is on hold. That's where the mayor's race appears headed for a recount. Unofficial results show that challenger Daniel Rivera is leading the incumbent Mayor William Lantigua by just 16 votes. Tonight, police officers are guarding the ballots. Christina Hager is joining us live in Lawrence tonight with the latest on this. Christina?
Well, Jonathan, we're at William Lantigua's campaign headquarters where he is expected to come out and make some kind of statement in about an hour. Meantime, it's important to understand that 60-point difference in the race is just preliminary. The final count isn't expected until Friday, and it isn't until then Lantigua could demand a recount. The mayoral ballots are locked up behind this door, sealed with duct tape, signed with a Sharpie, and under police guard. Behind this window, Lawrence election workers seen reviewing 40 to 50 provisional ballots. They need to make sure they were cast by registered voters. And once those results are final, the controversial incumbent William Lantigua could still demand a recount. Meantime, Daniel Rivera is not waiting.
I will work tirelessly to truly unite this city.
Inside City Hall, Lantigua staffers said he is not conceding. No statement, a no-show at the office, where Rivera says he can't wait to show up.
We cannot wait until Inauguration Day in January. That work must start now.
Lantigua's term has been dogged by scandal. He's under federal investigation, the subject of a state attorney general lawsuit, but has never been charged. Supporters have called him the people's mayor.
In our case, somebody dropped garbage. We live on Eilias Street in the alley that threw a lot of garbage and stuff like that. We brought up the issue to him. He came over and he looked it over and he said he was going to get it cleaned up.
That surprised you that the mayor himself would show up?
Well, yeah, actually it did.
Even Rivera's supporters were surprised by the narrow win. People passing by with shouts of support. A new day. This leader says he'll fight to keep.
We fought for every vote. We'll defend every vote, and we'll make sure that this election does not get stolen.
Back live now at the Lantigua campaign headquarters, where we are expecting the incumbent mayor to come out and make some kind of statement at 6 o'clock. We hope to find out if he will concede this race or challenge it or demand a recount. We'll be back live in Lawrence. Christina Hager, WBZ News. Johnathan.
We'll see you in a little bit, Christina. Thank you. A mayoral race that's even closer than the one in Lawrence is in Amesbury. The unofficial results show that the incumbent, Thatcher Keyser, the third, is trailing Kenneth Gray by just 2 votes. Now, you can find all the election results on our website at cbsboston.com. Let's talk about the weather, because there's lots to talk about. Hope you had a chance to at least get outside today. The sun was shining. The temperatures were on the mild side. It was beautiful.
It was, and it's going to be even nicer tomorrow. Meteorologist Eric Fisher is here with the first look at your forecast, and what a glorious sunset we just had.
Yeah, gorgeous outside this evening as the sun was just dipping down. No, it's early, but at least it's a good one. And tomorrow, milder day than what we saw today. You see some of the clouds are just starting to move in. You'll see that crescent moon on the horizon tonight before the clouds really thicken up. And with high cirrus, maybe we'll get a little halo around that moon as well. This is the system we're watching. This is drawing up the mild air up the East Coast, and we'll bring us some rain chances for tomorrow. Much needed rain at that. And they'll start to arrive by the very early morning hours. We will cloud up tonight. The showers arrive by dawn, and temperatures, which may go down to the upper 40s briefly, will climb back to the 50s before you wake up tomorrow. So there's the mild air in the east. That heads in for tomorrow's forecast, but the cold air behind it, that moves in for Friday's forecast. You think that's cold? Wait till next week. We'll talk more about that coming up in a little bit. Paula?
All right, we'll see you in a bit. Eric, thanks. Kennedy cousin Michael Skakel hoped to walk out of prison today. Instead, he is staying put. The Connecticut judge who overturned Skakel's murder conviction denied him bail.
Yeah, the judge said he just can't let Skakel out while prosecutors appeal the decision to grant him a new trial. Ken McLeod was in the courtroom today.
No, Your Honor.
Michael Skakel clearly came to court believing he might be freed.
If the defendant received an unconstitutional trial, he should not be required to spend one more day in custody.
It was Judge Thomas Bishop who last month overturned Skakel's conviction in the 1975 murder of Martha Moxley. The two were teenage neighbors in wealthy Greenwich, Connecticut, when she was beaten to death on Halloween night in her own yard with a Skakel family golf club.
No eyewitnesses, no DNA, no trace evidence.
Skakel was finally tried and convicted in 2002, based largely on admissions he supposedly made to others, even as several famous Kennedy cousins stood by him. Her family gave thanks, but he was unrepentant.
To lose a child is the worst thing in the world.
I did not commit this crime.
After several appeals failed, Judge Bishop tossed aside the conviction, ruling Skakel's defense lawyer at trial had been unconstitutionally horrid. So today, Skakel's current attorneys were back asking for bail.
This defendant has a right to walk out of this courtroom today.
I do not believe this is the appropriate court to take that action.
Indeed, prosecutors argued this judge had no authority to give Skakel his first taste of freedom in 11 years.
Remedy was not released as a new trial.
It seems Judge Bishop has dished out doses of hope and frustration to both sides.
This job clearly is not a popularity contest.
So Skakel stays in prison while prosecutors seek to have his murder conviction reinstated. And if an appeals court clears him for a new trial, he'll have to request bail then, just like any other accused killer. In Burton, Connecticut, Ken McLeod, WBZ News.
Now, Skakel was given 20 years after his 2002 conviction. He was denied parole just last year.
The fiancé of Aaron Hernandez in court today on charges related to his murder case. The judge just set a deadline for the prosecution. As Whitney Burbank shows us, the judge wants more information about the perjury charges against Cheyenne Jenkins. It's all new at 5.
Jenkins has been out on bail since last month when she pled not guilty to perjury charges. And today, a judge gave the prosecution a December 2nd deadline to outline what Jenkins allegedly lied about. Cheyenne Jenkins isn't talking to us, but her grand jury testimony fills more than 200 pages.
We say most of that testimony is not credible.
All I want to do is let them tell me what she supposedly lied about.
Now the prosecution must specify how Jenkins lied to a grand jury in the trial against her boyfriend, Aaron Hernandez. The former Patriots tight end is accused of murdering semi-pro football player Odin Lloyd. Lloyd was dating Jenkins' sister at the time. Prosecutors allege Jenkins got rid of a box that may have contained the murder weapon. If convicted, Jenkins could face up to 20 years in prison, and she's expected to be back in court on January 6th. In Fall River, Whitney Burbank, WBZ News.
Amanda Knox's third murder trial now is underway in Italy, but the Seattle woman won't appear in court. She won't even be in the country. Prosecutors insist that Knox and her ex-boyfriend murdered British student Meredith Kircher back in 2007. A jury already convicted the two and sent them to prison, but a 2011 appeal overturned that verdict. But Italy's High Court ordered a third trial, saying that the acquittal was full of contradictions and inconsistencies. A verdict is expected sometime in January. And nearly a decade after his death, there may be evidence that Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat was poisoned. Al Jazeera just published a copy of a report from Swiss scientists citing that modern evidence that Arafat died from polonium-210. The Swiss lab found traces of the deadly radioactive isotope on some of Arafat's clothes and from his remains.
Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius was back in the congressional hot seat today, answering questions about the troubled government healthcare website. Sebelius apologized for the problems, saying the website needed more than 100 fixes. She says it can now process more than 17,000 applications an hour.
Well, for the first time in decades, New Hampshire could execute a man. Still to come, while the state Supreme Court upheld the death sentence for a convicted cop killer. Plus,
the way I saw it, there was no way that I could not react to it. What Rolling Stone did was wrong.
A WBZ exclusive, the first TV interview with the state trooper who leaked pictures of the marathon bombing suspect.
And we'll sit down with the manager of the World Series champion Red Sox. Straight ahead, what manager John Farrell has to say about the special moments during the Duck Boat Parade.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Luna.
Right now at Luna, get an incredible 70% off carpet, hardwood, and laminate flooring.
877-241 Luna.
Workout World is running its 10-10-10 sale. For 10 days only, join Workout World for just $10 down and only $10 a month with no commitment. Right, Steve? Sale ends November 12th at midnight. Only at Workout World.
Let's make this clear. Toyota offers more vehicles with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive than any other brand. Period. Like the stylish and snow-conquering Venza, the refined and sophisticated Highlander, and Sienna, the only minivan available with all-wheel drive. So see your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive specialist. Clear enough? Ask someone you know who drives an all-wheel drive Toyota.
Come on, kids, we gotta go. Oh, now I gotta go. Oh, can you make that to go?
These days, nobody has time to get sick, but MinuteClinic makes it easy to get well. Our nurse practitioners can diagnose and write prescriptions for everything from strep throat to sinus infections with no appointment necessary, so you can feel better in no time.
You guys wanna go to the park?
Yeah! MinuteClinic, the medical clinic in CVS Pharmacy. Accepts Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Find a clinic near you at MinuteClinic.com. Sometimes, less is more. Especially when it comes to knee surgery. See this apple represents your knee. With total knee replacement, the entire surface has to be removed. But with the Oxford Partial Knee from Biomed, you keep up to 75% of your healthy knee for a more rapid recovery with less pain, more natural motion, and a lifetime implant replacement warranty. The new study also shows Oxford patients were more than twice as likely to be satisfied with their ability to perform daily activities compared to total knee patients. Not all patients are candidates for partial knee replacement. Risks include, but are not limited to, loosening, dislocation, fracture, wear, and infection, any of which can require additional surgery. Only your surgeon can tell if this surgery is right for you. Why get a total knee if all you need is a partial? The Oxford Partial Knee. For a surgeon in your area, go to oxfordknee.com.
Workout World is running its 10-10-10 sale. For 10 days only, join Workout World. For just $10 down and only $10 a month with no commitment. Right, Steve? Sale ends November 12th at midnight. Only at Workout World. Koji ready. He turns on the rubber, the 2-2 home. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. The 2013 Red Sox are the world champions. And
How awesome was that? This is a moment frozen in time for Sox fans. They'll remember this forever. Their beloved team winning the World Series right there in front of the Fenway faithful. And many attribute this season's victory to manager John Farrell.
Cannot be overstated. He turned the ball club around and made baseball history. And our Dan Roche is here tonight. Dan, we know you had the chance to sit down with John Farrell today.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy, you know what I mean? He's very humble and kind of background here as far as his team goes. As the Red Sox manager did stop by our WBZ studios this afternoon to discuss his team's incredible worst to first 2013 season. Just think it was exactly 1 week ago tonight that the Red Sox beat the Cardinals in Game 6 to clinch the World Series championship. Today, Farrell told me things really started to sink into Saturday's parade, and he has shared a few of his favorite rolling rally moments.
Two things really stood out for me that day is the interaction between the players and the crowd. When guys would acknowledge a certain portion of the crowd, you'd hear that response back to them. So that was one of them. And the other one is obviously that picture of the finish line. Sure. And those three things in that moment, the finish line, the trophy, and the jersey, pretty much summarizes all that we went through this year as a team and what it finally culminated in, and that's a World Series title.
Yeah, you jumped on that Boston Strong moment, not from a publicity way, but just what it meant to this team very early on in this season. Going back to that, what was that like emotionally for your baseball team, and how did that carry over throughout the year?
Well, I think it's important that it doesn't get jumped on frivolously, that slogan, because it means so much and so much heartfelt situations that unfolded. But, you know, in the clubhouse in Cleveland on the 16th of April, before we stood on the line in observance of a moment of silence, our guys, unscripted by anybody else, were already putting together how they could get out and visit people in the hospitals. This wasn't something directed from our PR department or anything like that. This was genuine, coming from inside the house.
And you can see much more from hear much more as well from John Farrell on Sports Final on Sunday night after our WBZ News at 11 o'clock. So certainly we covered a great deal of topics all the way through, from Koji to Ortiz to everything else. And he said, he told us which phone call was more important to him, the one from President Obama or the one from Terry Francona.
Interesting.
Interesting way for that.
Is there a rule now that he instituted immediately, no chicken in the dugout? Was that something?
Dugout, no. Clubhouse, maybe.
Dan, thanks very much.
Thank you, Dan. Well, take a look at this. Parts of South Dakota.
Oh, hey.
They are digging out tonight after nearly 6 inches of snow fell. The overnight snowfall smashed a 50-year-old record in Sioux Falls, and the city usually doesn't seem more than an inch until November 20th. So, very early for them.
Seeing that video, it made my heart skip, and not for a good reason. I'm just like, no, not
it warmed my heart. I don't know.
Yeah, I
You
know.
are ready for snow.
You're pining away for a big one.
I'm not the only one. Logan is getting ready for snow, you know, because we have a couple of big events every once in a while around here. The airport just showed off for more than 50 vehicles and specialized pieces of equipment it uses to keep the runways open during the winter weather. Today there was a winter readiness drill. Logan's snow crews got to practice for the real thing. When will the real thing occur? Could happen next week. It's not totally out of the question. We'll talk about that later. Today's high 60 degrees. Hopefully you enjoy some beautiful sunshine. The low is 43. We actually had a bit of an above average day in terms of temperature. Nowhere near any records. And tomorrow will be one more above average day. It might be the last one in a very long time. Now, if you're heading out this evening, some of you sending great pictures on Twitter. It's at Eric Fisher, by the way. The sunset, perfect. Now the sun's down. We've got a crescent moon. Venus is hanging out just nearby. You can take a look outside right along the horizon. A beautiful sight, much like what we saw last night. This is before the clouds move in. They're just off to the west. We've been watching this front. This is the same one that brought that snow to South Dakota we just showed you. Now it's mostly rain. It's all mild there that's surging up the east coast, and the clouds will start to thicken up tonight. That's going to keep our temperatures on the mild side. As we head toward midnight, maybe a couple of upper 40s out there. Many towns are still in the 50s, and those readings will actually go up by the time you head out to commute tomorrow. So 9 a.m., you've already got 60s on the map. A very mild start to our day. We'll get in the low to mid-60s for daytime highs before those temps start to drop off later tomorrow afternoon as the front sweeps in. Then we take a look at the rainfall, and as we head toward tomorrow morning, some showers will be developing. It won't be widespread, big shield of rain over every area. There'll be scattered showers, and this is just the kind of the nature of what we'll be looking at to start. Most of the rainfall is midday toward the early afternoon, a little more substantial shield of shower activity, a couple of heavier downpours, and then this will be sweeping through as we head through the evening and toward tomorrow night. Now, in terms of total rain, some of the models have been coming in a little heavier over the past few months. I still think an inch, or past few hours, I should say. I think an inch is a little bit heavy. I think we're going to end up mainly less than a half inch, but the higher totals should be across southeastern parts of the state, much needed. In terms of wind, of course, we had that big event last week. There were gusts over 50. This time as we head through tonight, some gusts over 20. Same story tomorrow morning, and we'll stay in that 20 to 35 mile per hour range during the afternoon. So a few limbs could come down with gusts like these. We shouldn't see the type of damage that we saw last week with those much stronger wind gusts. And that colder air will be moving in tomorrow night. Friday, we're in the 40s, much chillier end to the week. It will be a dry day, though, and a chilly start to the weekend. Morning in the 20s, afternoon in the 40s. A lot of sunshine, so we'll get outside. Then as we get toward next week, perhaps some much bigger changes. We'll talk about that later on in the newscast. Paula, over to you.
Thank you, Eric. Well, diagnosing autism earlier than ever.
Yeah, coming up for us, the signs of a social disorder seen in babies just a few months old.
And plastered all over social media without ever signing up. How it may end up costing you money, and what to do if you feel as if you're being unfairly overcharged. And now here at Jack and Lisa, we'll look at what's ahead at 6.
Hi, Paula, Johnathan, thank you. How about blowing millions of dollars?
New at 6 o'clock, the lies Christy Myhouse told his family while he was running for governor, and the unbelievable sums he spent on politics and prostitutes.
Then on Wednesday's Child about 6:20 tonight, he calls himself D-Man and wanted to be an action hero for Halloween.
The smart, charming little boy who would love to find a forever family.
The beautiful house. The wardrobe you can only dream of. Wonder how the other half does it? Well, BZ found most millionaires have a few things in common. Simple daily routines that can really pay off. Want in on their secrets? 6 Habits of Highly Wealthy People. Tonight on WBZ News at 11.
Looking for something a little different for your home? At Circle Furniture, we offer gorgeous upholstery, stylish rugs and accessories, and beautiful New England-made hardwood furniture. Order today for holiday delivery. Circle Furniture, made for real life.
Life. It's all about changes. Transitions. New beginnings. Still, it's good to know some things never change, like the dependability of your Camry. Because 90% of all Camrys sold in New England since 1995 are still on the road. Come see why the 2013 Camry is the best Camry ever. Or ask someone you know who drives one.
With one unforgettable shopping day, you can own every moment. This is Premium Outlets. Legendary brands. Abundant selection. And real savings of 25 to 65% every day. Who says you can't have it all? Premium Outlets. Shop brilliantly.
TrustedChoice.com. Massachusetts independent insurance agents, protecting the most important things in your life at the best possible price is what it's all about.
Representing Hanover Insurance Company.
TrustedChoice.com.
You'll notice the Goya difference even before you taste it. Add plump and tasty Goya low-sodium beans to your favorite recipes and see for yourself. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Entertaining this holiday season? Get
Get your home holiday ready with gorgeous furniture from Circle Furniture. Our American-made upholstery comes in exciting fabrics and styles. Order today for holiday delivery. Circle Furniture, made for real life.
Next, Queen Latifah
We're having a super fresh 80s party.
with the cast of The Goldbergs and The Karate Kid.
Tomorrow at 9 on WBZ.
It's powerful, it can be fun, and in most cases it's free. Those are just 3 reasons why social media has become a way of life for a whole lot of folks.
But there's one site out there that some say is preying on that ever-growing appetite to stay connected.
The whole thing just reeks of scam.
Kevin Langdon is talking about My Life, a social media website that promises to find personal information about other people, like email addresses, home addresses, work history, and social connections.
The premise behind My Life is it's a site that's supposed to be able to give you a deep dive into who's searching for you and give you the ability to search for other people.
Every 3 days I get an email, and many of them said, Susan has viewed your profile.
The emails urged Kevin to upgrade to a paid subscription to find out more about who was searching for him. The problem is, Kevin says he never signed up for My Life at all. According to Emerson College social media professor David Gerzoff-Richard, My Life created profiles for tens of thousands of unsuspecting people simply by pulling information that's publicly available. But they also have their own data.
And they've acquired a number of companies along the way, and some of those companies are the equivalent of digital phone books.
But the real problem for most people is the fee to get that information. They tell you it's less than $10 a month, but if you look down at the tiny print here, it says they're going to charge you for the whole year. So people end up with more than $100 charged to their credit card. There are all kinds of complaints online. One woman called it a complete, terrible ripoff. Another said it's a blatant scam and as shady as it gets. Kevin said the company even wanted to charge him just to take his own profile down.
The lady I talked to told me that would cost $7.99.
Langdon says he threatened to sue, and My Life eventually agreed to remove his information for free, saying it was a miscommunication. A class action lawsuit settled last year also accused My Life of overbilling credit cards, hacking user email accounts, and misleading advertising. Now, when we talked to My Life, they said that they want their customers to be happy, and their customer care team will work with anyone who feels they were overcharged.
A little dog found neglected and in pretty rough shape.
Oh, coming up, Petunia's road to recovery, and how she found a new owner without even looking.
Plus, East Boston residents say no thanks to a casino at Suffolk Downs, so what happens now? And will the racetrack regroup?
First, a death row appeal denied. Tonight, New Hampshire is getting ready for its first execution in nearly 75 years.
When you wake up, switch things up and join David, Carrie, Todd, and Michelle.
Finally, the team is together.
There you go. WBZ News in the morning. Let's start the day together.
Today's weather on WBZ is brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers.
The road to strong is 13 million miles long. That's how we built your all-new Silverado, with the most fuel-efficient V8 available in pickup. A V8 even more fuel-efficient than the EcoBoost V6 and Ford F-150. The all-new Chevy Silverado, strong for all the roads ahead. Now Silverado is backed by the best coverage available on a pickup, including 2 years of scheduled maintenance. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com.
Ready, set, celebrate. It's the K&G 50% off pre-holiday event. Take 50% off all men's designer suits. Choose from designer brands, prices starting at just $75. And take 50% off select men's and ladies' sweaters, boots, and outerwear. But hurry, sale ends Monday.
K&G. Tonight's primetime lineup is brought to you by Avidia. Find us at avidiabank.com.
Okay, I need a better pizza. One made with only real cheese. And dough that rises naturally, with no chemical leaveners. A pizza with premium meats. And sauce made from only real tomatoes. A pizza my family will love.
Bruschetta Naturally Rising Crust Pizza.
Freschetta. Made better to taste better.
In Italy, there is one mozzarella cheese brand at the heart of every kitchen, in the center of every table.
Galvani.
A mozzarella cheese so authentic, so deliciously meltable, you can't resist.
Galvani.
Now Sorrento has joined with Galvani to continue making authentic mozzarella cheese here in the US. Enjoy the true taste of Italy at your table.
Galvani.
With Sorrento, now Galvani, Italy's favorite cheese brand.
Ready, set, celebrate. It's the K&G 50% off pre-holiday event. Take 50% off all men's designer suits. Choose from designer brands. Prices starting at just $75. And take 50% off select men's and ladies' sweaters, boots, and outerwear. But hurry, sale ends Monday. K&G.
Our top stories at 5:30. Boston's mayor-elect Marty Walsh celebrating the day after a close election win. He met with current Mayor Tom Menino to talk about the transition between the two administrations.
No bond for Michael Skagel. The judge told the Kennedy cousin an appeals court must rule on his decision to overturn the murder conviction before bail can even be considered.
And no reprieve for the only death row inmate in the state of New Hampshire. Today, the state's Supreme Court upheld the sentence for convicted cop killer Michael Addison.
Yep, the 33-year-old shot and killed Manchester police officer Michael Briggs back in 2006. Addison could become the first person executed in the Granite State since 1939. New Hampshire Bureau Chief Michael Rosenfield's live in Manchester tonight. Michael?
Paula, this is today's decision from the New Hampshire Supreme Court. Over 200 pages in all, the justices upholding the conviction, but there is still more to come. The Supreme Court in New Hampshire releasing its opinion in the high-profile capital murder case that all began 7 years ago. The defendant, Michael Addison, accused of shooting and killing Manchester police officer Michael Briggs in 2006.
We have somebody that we worked with that went out day in and day out to protect the public at his own risk to his own safety, and one night he didn't come back.
Addison was convicted of the crime and sentenced to death. Last year, New Hampshire's Supreme Court heard the appeal, and today justices released their opinion on the case, saying, quote, "We have independently reviewed the record, and we determined that the death sentence in this case was not imposed under the influence of passion, prejudice, or any other arbitrary factor. We affirm the defendant's capital murder conviction."
It shows that this case, we followed the law, that it was a strong case, and there was no doubt about, in my mind, what the should be.
While the conviction has been upheld, the Supreme Court says there still needs to be more argument on the punishment and whether the death penalty itself is excessive in this case. Michael Addison's attorney said in a statement today, "We disagree with the court's decision. We look forward to the opportunity to address the proportionality of the death sentence, and we will work as diligently on Mr. Addison's behalf in the future as we have over the last several years." So far, no date has been set for the next set of arguments concerning the punishment by the only person on New Hampshire's death row. Live in Manchester, Michael Rosenfield, WBZ News.
Well, dark right now, but a few minutes ago, maybe you had your camera at the ready. A beautiful sunset. Been sending in some pictures. This one coming in from Jim and Lowell. Sky on fire. We got that mid to high level cloud deck. Nice texture, beautiful coloring. And now we've got the moon and we've got Venus right on the horizon. Check that out this evening. Nice to start. Temperatures will stay in the 50s, but clouds will start to move in. Showers arrive by dawn tomorrow morning as we wake up. So very mild 24 hours ahead. This is the last of our mild weather for a while. We've gotten drought conditions in parts of Massachusetts. We're going to get some beneficial rain. We'll walk you through that end of the forecast in a few minutes. Jonathan?
All right, we'll see you in a bit, Eric. Thanks. Tonight, Boston police are searching for a female bank robber. They say on Friday afternoon, this woman came into the Commonwealth Cooperative Bank and gave the teller note saying that she had a bomb. Investigators say she does have a tattoo on her right chest, and she may be pregnant. Investigators think that the same woman robbed a Commerce Bank in the South End just last week. If you recognize the woman in this picture, BPD would like to hear from you.
The New York City voters just elected their first Democratic mayor since 1989. Bill de Blasio won in a landslide. He promises to raise taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers to fund universal pre-K. The state still needs to approve his proposal, though. In New Jersey, Governor Chris Christie has another term, winning re-election by a huge margin. There is speculation Christie will leave office early, perhaps to seek the GOP presidential nomination in 2016. And in Virginia, Terry McAuliffe, a longtime friend of Bill and Hillary Clinton, won the governor's race there. He beat the socially conservative candidate who was backed by the Tea Party.
Well, it was a big blow to Suffolk Downs. Voters in East Boston rejected a plan to build a casino at the racetrack. So now, as Bree Season shows us, Suffolk Downs officials are regrouping and reconsidering their options.
This portion of Suffolk Downs is part of the 52 acres that sits in the city of Revere. Voters there said yes to the casino plan by a big margin. But because Suffolk Downs straddles Revere and East Boston, both communities had to say yes. Despite massive spending to convince residents the casino was a good idea, 56% of East Boston voters said no.
Well, let's face it, for the moment, the referendum is definitive, and that's the end of it.
The Gaming Commission chairman tells WBZ Radio he's not sure how the old racetrack could get a new proposal together in time to meet the December 31st deadline.
And frankly, I don't know whether we could accommodate that. We just haven't thought about it yet.
Yet Revere's mayor wants to make a go at it, asking Suffolk Downs to reshape the project that's already lost its casino operator and build solely in his town, saying, quote, "Our community will continue to fight so that Revere can win this boost to our local economy." After the vote Tuesday night, the deep divisions over the issue remained.
I was afraid the extra traffic and actually the effect on the jobs I think would be not good.
Maybe this would be something good and new and more adventurous, you know? Maybe it brings more money to the city. Maybe it brings more artists and more concerts and more Boston Strong.
Up against Suffolk Downs for that Eastern Mass casino license is the town of Milford. Voters there will decide on a Foxwood casino in 2 weeks. The city of Everett already approved a plan by developer Stephen. In Boston, Bree Season, WBZ News.
A severely neglected dog that was found in Dorchester is recovering tonight after several operations. This is Petunia, who has been at the MSPCA Adoption Center in Jamaica Plain for a month now, after someone found her just dumped in a Dorchester yard. Vets had to remove Petunia's blind eyes, as well as tumors from her chest.
And she really let us handle her, as much pain as she was in and as frightened as she must have been on being unable to hear or see us. She trusted us, and that really broke my heart even more, that somebody had been neglecting her to the point of abuse, and she was still willing to have people handle her and to trust us.
That's Katie Armour, who says it was love at first sight, and so she decided to adopt Petunia and give her a new home.
Oh, Petunia has a nice mommy now. All right, we all know that keeping tabs on our credit report is important, but what about your consumer report? Still to come, the type of information being collected and why it's important to make sure that it's correct.
And important information for parents who need help conceiving. What researchers just discovered about IVF babies and childhood cancer.
At Mako, we're experts in both collision repair and auto painting. We've serviced over 17 million cars and offer a nationwide warranty. So come to the body shop that's easy, affordable, and reliable. Mako, America's body shop.
Now, in less time than you ever imagined, you can breathe new life into your basement and add much-needed living space to your home with the Owens Corning Basement Finishing System. Did you know installing drywall can take months? But our system is installed in about 2 weeks with virtually no mess. So in practically no time, you'll not only finish your basement, you'll transform your home. Call 1-800-BASEMENT now for a free video and design consultation. It's a fact. Nobody knows basements better than Owens Corning.
We're local Massachusetts independent insurance agents who specialize in what you need at the best possible price. TrustedChoice.com. We love what we do, and you'll love what we do for you. Visit TrustedChoice.com and tell us how we're doing and what we can do for you. For the protection you need at the best possible price. TrustedChoice.com.
Representing Hanover Insurance Company and many other fine
insurance companies.
TrustedChoice.com.
Hi.
Hi.
Do you do free exam and x-rays?
Exam and x-rays? Yes.
Free?
No.
No free exam and x-rays.
Exam, yes. X-rays, yes. Free? No.
You're nodding yes, but saying no.
Yes to no. No.
Okay, hold it. Let's try something new.
Are my first exam and x-rays free?
Completely free.
Free?
Zip, zero, nada.
Nice.
Aspen Dental is doing whatever it takes to give America a healthy mouth, like offering free exams and x-rays. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL, because your mouth is our mission.
Come on, kids, we gotta go. Oh, now I go. Oh, can you make that to go?
These days, nobody has time to get sick, but MinuteClinic makes it easy to get well. Our nurse practitioners can diagnose and write prescriptions for everything from strep throat to sinus infections with no appointment necessary, so you can feel better in no time.
You guys wanna go to the park?
Yeah.
MinuteClinic, the medical clinic in CVS Pharmacy. Accepts Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Find a clinic near you at MinuteClinic.com.
At Mako, we're experts in both collision repair and auto painting. We've serviced over 3 million cars and offer a nationwide warranty. So come to the body shop that's easy, affordable, and reliable. Mako, America's body shop.
Some breaking news right now. We understand that the mayor of Lawrence, that's William Lantigua, on the right side of your screen, to the left is his attorney. He is not conceding the race, but at the same time, he is at this point not demanding a recount. Only 60 votes separated him from his challenger, who has won. Daniel Rivera was the winner according to that 60 votes in his favor. He does have 10 days to decide if he wants to order a recount, but again, right now, he is not indicating one way or the other what he is going to do, but he is not conceding the mayor's race as of yet. We'll follow the story and let you know if there are any new developments as this goes on.
Meantime, on the Health Watch, a sigh of relief for parents of children who were born through in vitro fertilization. As Tina Krause shows us, British researchers say they did not find a link between these babies and an increased risk of childhood cancer.
Is that the tale for that?
Tanya Ross conceived 6-year-old Isabella and 3-year-old Sophia through IVF.
I'm grateful to medical science for it. I wouldn't have been a mum.
Daddy. She is relieved to read a new study that finds British children born through IVF are not at greater risk for developing cancer in childhood.
With IVF, that worrying process starts even before, way before you're pregnant. So to have something as positive as this is just fantastic.
British researchers studied more than 100,000 children born through IVF between 1992 and 2008. They found 108 cancer cases. That's a little less than rates for children born naturally.
In terms of cancer, there is no evidence of an increased risk in the UK population, which uses similar techniques for IVF than other countries.
In vitro fertilization was introduced in Britain in 1978. More than 5 million children worldwide have been born through IVF since then. Tanya says when her daughters are older, she'll let them know they were conceived through IVF.
I look at the little pictures of them as tiny babies, and I still can't believe that it happened.
I counted. She says she wants them to be aware of research and any risks they may face in the future. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
There is a new study out there that shows children may be able to be diagnosed with autism a lot earlier than ever. Researchers found that eye contact during early infancy may be the key. They discovered a steady decline in attention to others' eyes within the first 2 to 6 months of life, and in many children later diagnosed with the social disorder, that's what they found. Autism diagnoses usually don't happen until after age 2, and that's when a child's behavior and language skills become more apparent.
I was furious. Everyone was furious. It was wrong.
Coming up, a WBZ exclusive. The first interview with the state trooper who leaked those pics of the marathon bombing suspect.
And we've got a little bit of mild weather to go before the cold returns, and it may stick around for a while. We'll take a look at the forecast in a few minutes.
The beautiful house, the fancy car, the wardrobe you can only dream of. Wonder how the other half does it? Well, BZ found most millionaires have a few things in common. Simple daily routines that can really pay off. Want in on their secrets? 6 Habits of Highly Wealthy People, tonight on WBZ News at 11.
After 30 great years in business, Bernie and Phil have 2 words for you.
Thank you.
It's our anniversary, but you get the gifts.
Buy a living room set and choose a free select set of tables. It's our way of saying
Thank you.
When people think about auto insurance, everybody has their own definition of value. If you're looking for the best value, call Amica. A great price is just the beginning. We'll also dig deeper and find every discount that you're eligible for, even some you might not know about. So call Amica now at 877-52-AMICA. A great price plus the coverage and service you deserve. That's the value of Amica Auto Insurance. How do you decide which auto insurance is right for you? It depends on your formula for value. That's why you should call Amica, because there are so many reasons to switch. We're a mutual company owned by our customers, so when you call, you talk directly to a company that always puts its customers first. So call 877-52-AMICA now and discover the full value of Amica Auto Insurance.
The Toyota Tacoma, massive one-piece frame rails, fully boxed subframe. It's built to face New England's toughest conditions. Question is, can it face its toughest critics? Evidently, yes. The Toyota Tacoma, not only tough, but an incredible value. Ask someone you know who drives one.
the Phantom Gourmet Wine and Food Fest, Saturday, November 9th at the Boston Center for the Arts. 3 dozen wines from around the world, 10 of Phantom's favorite foods, and tons of fun. Major discounts if you buy now at phantomgourmet.com.
After 30 great years in business, Bernie and Phil have 2 words for you. Thank you.
It's our anniversary, but you get the gifts.
Buy a dining room and get a $200 supermarket gift card. It's our way of saying
Thank you.
Good evening, Mrs. Crosby. You're that glow. Aren't you sweet?
Licensed phone reps available 24/7. Call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
Wake up with David, Carrie, Todd, and Michelle. Come see what's different on WBZ News in the morning. I love it. Let's start the day together.
It was a record day on Wall Street. The Dow Jones closing at an all-time high. It gained more than 128 points to end the day at 15,746. The Nasdaq dropped to 8 points, but the S&P 500 jumped 7, just 1 point below its all-time high.
Tonight, a WBZ exclusive. The state trooper who leaked photos of the capture of marathon bombing suspect Johar Tsarnaev is off the force, and he's speaking only to us. Sergeant Sean Murphy says that his decision to retire has nothing to do with the punishment that he received for releasing those pictures. And as Bobby Sisk shows us, Murphy says he has no regrets.
At the Athol Board of Selectmen meeting, a hero's welcome for Sean Murphy, a now retired Mass State Police Sergeant.
Please pass along to the people of Athol that I greatly appreciate the warm welcome that you extended to me.
Murphy served as a tactical photographer and was on the ground in Watertown the April night Johar Tsarnaev was captured. Then in July, he and the rest of the world saw this.
I was furious. Everyone was furious. It was wrong.
In response, Murphy released these behind-the-scenes photos to Boston Magazine. Images of a bloody Tsarnaev finally surrendering to police.
It was the real face of terror. It wasn't the guy who was fluffed and buffed for the cover of Rolling Stone. That was the guy. That was the guy who hurt all those people.
He was disciplined by state police and reassigned to a midnight shift at Athol. But Murphy knew he'd never take pictures again for his longtime employer and decided it was time for him to say goodbye.
I was not forced to retire. I have 25 years of honorable service, and I'm very fortunate that I could retire with a pension. And I have nothing bad to say about the state police.
He defends his reaction, says he knew what he did was wrong, and he knew he'd get in trouble. This now former sergeant has absolutely no regrets.
The way I saw it, there was no way that I could not react to it. What Rolling Stone did was wrong, and the images that I knew existed had to be shown.
And you would do it again?
I would do it again.
Murphy has taken out an ad in the Athol Daily News later to thank this community for their support. He isn't sure what's next, but says he hopes to get back into photography and will spend some of his time as a new retiree volunteering with military and police causes. In Athol, Bobby Sisk, WBZ News.
JP and Paul Norton, brothers who each lost a leg in the marathon bombings, released a statement thanking and supporting Sergeant. Said in part, "Right or wrong, we respect his decision and stand behind him as he spoke the truth and stood his ground. We wish him well as he transitions to the next chapter of his life alongside all our survivors. Sometimes the rules are meant to be broken." Turn our attention to the weather right now, and it was an absolute glorious day. Tomorrow's another one, and then the kidding around is pretty much over.
I know, it's true. And you hate to say it at this point. Sometimes you have to admit we do need some rain.
We do need some rain. So the mild air, that's a good thing, right? And the rain is going to be a good thing as well as we head toward tomorrow. And tonight, we'll just have an abundance of good news. Take a look at the sunset pictures that have been coming in tonight. Gorgeous sunset over Scorton Creek on Cape Cod. Meg O'Leary sent this in. Lots of those photos coming into our inbox as well as on Twitter. It's at Eric Fisher. Great stuff. Beautiful way to end the day, right? The highs are up around 60 degrees. The clouds are starting to work their way in. Sometimes you need some cloud cover to get a really good sunset out of it. It's all ahead of a bigger storm system that's bringing some showers from southern Canada all the way down toward the Gulf Coast. A lot of strung out energy with this. So yes, we will see some rain. It won't be a very impactful storm, but at least we'll get a good quarter inch in most towns. And in terms of temperatures tonight, ahead of this, we've got the southerly breeze. It's going to keep the dew points up. It's going to keep our temperatures up. So generally, we'll stay in the 50s. A few places, especially southern New Hampshire, may get down into the 40s before rising into tomorrow morning. Speaking of tomorrow morning, we get through commute time. There'll be some showers around. You notice it's not a big shield of rain to start the day. So not everyone will be in the rain all the time. It will be breezy. It will be mild. A little wave of low pressure will help to enhance some of that rainfall from midday lunch into the early afternoon, and then we'll start to clear from west to east heading through the evening. So the way we see it, we're well up into the 50s for tomorrow morning. There'll be some showers. It won't be everyone to start with. We head toward midday, still some showers around. They'll start to pick up around Cape Cod, southeast Mass. The wind gusting out of the west-southwest, but most of those gusts are at 35 miles per hour or less. And for the evening commute, we start to clear from west to east, and temperatures start to fall back through the 50s, and it'll still be quite windy for tomorrow evening. Then we look toward Friday, and that wind is bringing colder air, wind out of the northwest, and this is actually going to be more of a gusty day than tomorrow, perhaps. Some of those gusts could be up to 40 miles per hour on Friday, making it feel much colder. So we head through the evening, still dry. And then for Saturday, I think it's a nice day. Most of this is high cirrus cloud in the afternoon that will start to move in, and a couple of these showers may survive for late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. Then we look toward next week, and perhaps a bigger dip in the jet stream that could bring a taste of winter as we head toward Tuesday and Wednesday. Also watching a potential of a storm right now. My best guess would be that this is going to stay out to sea and slide to our south. It will be cold enough for snow, so if it comes up the coast, we'll keep an eye on it. Long way out. Wouldn't get worked up about it just yet. And in the tropics, we know it's been so quiet in the Atlantic. Not the case in the West Pac. It's been very busy. This is a beast of a super typhoon that is moving right toward the Philippines. It will make landfall into Friday. And look at the wind speeds right in the middle of the Philippines, 155 miles per hour. I've got more information on that on Twitter and Facebook this evening if you want to read in a little bit more. Your WBZ Accuweather 7-day forecast. There's the weekend. We mentioned the nice Saturday. Sunday, maybe a shower around, but it's a mostly dry day. We're still on the relatively mild side, 50 degrees. Monday, it's mild to start for Veterans Day, but an Arctic front moves through late. Tuesday and Wednesday, the potential that we won't get out of the 30s. You know what that means at night?
Yeah, that means you're going to get down to 20s.
Maybe the teens, so enjoy it.
Thanks a lot, Eric.
Eric, thank you. Coming up tonight at 11, the rich are different, but this financial planner studied their habits and found some parts of their daily routine are easy to follow.
I want them to understand that it may only take one or two rich habits to completely transform their lives.
The habits of the rich that could make your life a lot easier. That's tonight on WBZ News at 11. And are you looking to get yourself into the Thanksgiving mood? You can just light a candle. This year, Yankee Candle is offering 3 new Thanksgiving-themed scents. Love these. Cranberry sauce, sweet potato pie, and yes, turkey with stuffing. The company says it smells just like a plump, butter-basted turkey and savory stuffing filled with celery, carrots, and herbs. Just how about your poor family when you just light the candle but you haven't made it?
It's like Pavlov dogs. You're instantly hungry. You'll be wanting turkey, stuffing, and whatever else is a part of the candle. You can check your credit report, but what about your consumer report?
Right after the break, how the information on it could affect your life in unexpected ways. And now, here are Jack and Lisa with a look at what's coming up at 6.
Well, Paula and Johnathan, we have breaking news. The Lawrence mayor's race still undecided.
Why, William Lantigua says he asked for a recount yet.
And he led the Red Sox to the World Series championship, but was he able to enjoy the ride? John Farrell sits down and talks more with our Dan Roche.
Catch all the exciting football action and key matchups Sunday starting at 1 on WBZ. Brought to you locally by the all-new 2014 Toyota Tundra. The Toyota Tundra's outstanding quality and features allow you to build anything.
TrustedChoice.com. It's where you'll find Massachusetts independent insurance agents who specialize in the protection plans you need at the best possible price.
Representing Hanover Insurance Company.
TrustedChoice.com.
Discover more thrills than ever before on over 4,500 big-hitting slots. From the games you know and love to the newest titles and all the winning you can imagine. The gift giveaway extravaganza returns. December 11th, use your rewards card while you play slots. And then on December 14th, you could win your share of over $115,000 in prizes at Twin River Casino. So much more, so close.
3D Blinds wants to give someone in your neighborhood a window treatment makeover, and they need your help. Go to cbsboston.com/contests and vote for the nominee you think deserves a room-changing experience. 3D Blinds. You'll love the treatment.
Three, two, one.
At Volkswagen, we believe everyone deserves a better car. And now, during the Sign and Drive sales event, you're closer to yours than ever. Like the turbocharged Tiguan, the midsize Passat, or the 34 Highway MPG Jetta. And every new 2014 Volkswagen comes with no charge scheduled maintenance, all for practically just your signature. The Sign and Drive sales event is back, and it's never been easier to get a new Volkswagen. Get zero due at signing, zero down, zero deposit, and zero first month's payment on any new 2014 Volkswagen. Hurry, this offer ends December 2nd.
Well, companies these days are tracking more than just your credit, and you might not even know it.
Yeah, reporting agencies are collecting any information that they can get its hands on, like if you paid the electric bill on time, or if you've ever had a problem with a landlord, even what kind of prescription drugs you go out and buy. As Michelle Roberts shows us, this is all legal.
Lauren Cantor of Swampscott knows exactly what she'll find on her credit report.
I often check the credit to see where the score is at and if there's anything new on the report that I should know about.
But she didn't know there are also companies tracking her consumer report.
I find that absolutely crazy. I had no idea.
There are hundreds of consumer reporting agencies collecting information on potentially millions of consumers. The information can be collected from court files or companies you do business with.
I don't think most people realize there's so many different agencies and data collection services out there right now, and most of the time they don't actually find out about it until something negative happens.
Something negative like being turned down for a bank account, insurance, a job, an apartment, or even cable TV.
Run a report on yourself. Make sure that it's accurate. And if it's not accurate, then take the steps necessary to correct the information that's not accurate.
The hard part is guessing which agency to contact. There's no way to know which agency have a report on you until you request it.
I should really know what kind of information is out there about me.
Companies must give you a copy of your consumer report if the information has been used to deny any type of application. The annual report is free, just like a credit report. We have a list of consumer reporting agencies on our website, cbsboston.com. I'm Michelle Roberts, WBZ News.
It's all out there.
No kidding.
Well, we have much more still ahead.
Yeah, it's going to do it for us at 5 o'clock, but the news at 6 starts now.
Police officers ordered to guard ballots in Lawrence, the razor-thin margin of victory in the race for mayor, and why a recount is likely.
Shocking revelations from Christy Mayo's divorce. A $25 million fortune gone.
He's the man who led the Red Sox from worst to first.
Throughout the grind, you are riding high and you're riding the lows.
Dan Roche goes one-on-one with John Farrell.
A break from the cold today. Hope you enjoyed it because there's some rain on the way and cold air that's going to follow.
Live from
says he cannot ask for a recount, at least yet. I'm Jack Williams.
I'm Lisa Hughes. Things are so tense. Police have been ordered to guard the division and the ballots in Lawrence. As it stands now, vote total shows City Councilor Daniel Rivera beating William Lantigua by 60 votes. Christina Hager in Lawrence tonight. Christina, Lantigua spoke briefly just a few moments ago.
Lisa, it has been a strange day. We haven't heard from the incumbent mayor, William Lantigua, all day, and then early in the evening he showed up here at his campaign headquarters. Inside, he addressed a crowd of supporters, and then he came here with his attorney and explained why he hasn't made a decision on whether to demand a recount. Here's what they had to say.
As you are all aware, yesterday was election day, and the process is still going. The election department has not yet formalized an opinion as to make the elections final. Votes are still being counting, and on that respect of the process, I'm very limited as to the call I'd like to make tonight.
Yeah, this race comes down to a difference of 60 votes, but that's a very preliminary number. The final count isn't expected until Friday. Meantime, the front runner in this race is eager to get started.
We cannot wait until day in January. That work must start now.
Daniel Rivera wants to call himself the mayor-elect. So do his supporters. But it could be some time before the count is final by the looks of this. The mayoral ballots locked behind this door, sealed with duct tape, signed with a Sharpie, and under police guard. Behind this window, Lawrence election workers seen reviewing 40 to 50 provisional ballots. They need to make sure they were cast by registered voters. At incumbent William Lantigua's office all day, he was a no-show. The mayor's term has been dogged by scandal. He's under federal investigation, the subject of a state attorney general lawsuit, but has never been charged. Supporters have called him the people's mayor.
In our case, somebody dropped garbage. We live on Andover Street in the alley. They threw a lot of garbage and stuff like that. We brought up the issue to him. He came over and he looked it over and he was going to get it cleaned up.
That surprise you that the mayor himself would show up?
Well, yeah, actually it did.
Even Rivera's supporters were surprised by the narrow win. People passing by to show support. A new day. This leader says he'll fight to keep.
We fought for every vote. We'll defend every vote, and we'll make sure that this election does not get stolen.
Lantigua now has 2 weeks from Friday to decide if he wants to demand a recount. So that takes us into the last week of November. This could be a long haul. In Lawrence, Christina Hager, WBZ News. Jack, back to you.
All right, Christina, thank you. Meanwhile, in Boston, the man who will succeed, Menino, is promising a smooth transition while he assesses the work that needs to be done. Marty Walsh met with Menino at City Hall this morning. And not long after, John Keller spoke with Walsh one-on-one. Well, John, what differences will we start to see once the new mayor takes over?
But Jack, there will be new faces in top jobs, no doubt about it. And while I suspect one reason Walsh won this race is the degree to which his personal style reminded voters of Menino, the Mike did make it clear today there will be noticeable policy differences.
I think they're going to see a new life in City Hall.
The personal and generational change is obvious, but what specific policy changes does the mayor-elect have in mind?
Change the culture a little bit of the city of Boston.
How so?
I think you can make a city more lively. We're talking a lot about the arts. It's been part of the big discussion. It hasn't been the main focal point, but how do we make Boston more inviting for tourism?
One way to do that, make more affordable liquor licenses available to neighborhood bars and restaurants. If there's one state law you'd like to change that would benefit Boston, what would it be?
Some of the laws around the liquor licenses we have to look at.
And what about the nanny state instincts of the Menino era, like the failed effort to ban cigar bars? Is there going to be more of that under the Walsh administration?
No, we won't have any of that under my administration. You know, I want everyone who works in the city of Boston to enjoy their time working for the city, and I want them to understand that the residents come before anyone else.
So, no micromanagement of what business can do and what individual consumers can do?
You're getting me in trouble here with the mayor.
But one change you won't likely see is more frequent turnover in the mayor's office. Marty, would you like to serve as long as Mayor Menino did if you can?
After today, I don't know. No, I mean, I'm telling life a day at a time.
Now, candidate Walsh also promised to abolish the BRA, the city agency that oversees local development. And he vowed to tear down the city's eyesore City Hall and find other uses for the prime real estate it sits on. But Walsh laughed when we asked him when the bulldozers start moving over there at Government Center, saying that idea is low on his priority list. Jack, back to you.
Well, start of a new era. Thank you, John. East Boston's rejection of the Suffolk Downs casino plan may doom the project. Revere approved the casino at the racetrack, and Revere's mayor is asking developers to rework the casino so it will only be built in Revere. Well, the head of the Gaming Commission, though, says he is not sure that that'll be acceptable. Well, if Suffolk Downs truly is out, well, that will leave just Everett and Milford in play for the license for Eastern Massachusetts Casino. Keep in mind the Milford residents have not voted yet. Well, Palmer residents, they said no. They rejected the Mohegan Sun's proposal. That leaves Springfield as the only possible place right now for the Western Massachusetts Casino.
Well, mild temperatures today and a gorgeous afternoon. Unfortunately, the good weather isn't going to last much longer. Eric Fisher has our AccuWeather forecast. Now, Eric, are we talking about big changes?
We are talking about some big changes here and some much-needed rain. It's been so dry this fall that we'd like to see at least a couple of storms, especially when they're not the damaging types, which is not what we're expecting tomorrow. Take a look at some of the temperatures out there this evening. 54 degrees in Boston as well as in Taunton. Providence is at 55. We won't drop off all that much, so it's a pretty nice evening. Bring the kiddos out to sports practices, no major issues. We're going to be in that mild sector through tomorrow. Then you see the cold air in Chicago and Minneapolis. That's what heads our way by tomorrow night. So there you see the storm system, high pressure departing off the East Coast. The rain shower is moving in, and it is much needed. We'll talk about amounts when it goes away, and we're expecting this weekend coming up in a few minutes. Lisa?
All right, thank you, Eric. Michael Skakel will not be getting out of prison, at least not right away. The decision clearly upset the Kennedy cousin today. Last week, an appeals court ordered a new trial for Skakel. He was convicted of murdering his neighbor, Martha Moxley, when they were 15 years old. Prosecutors have appealed that ruling. The judge says that appeal has to play out, and only after that will Skakel be able to ask another judge for bail. A judge wants prosecutors to give up more information about the evidence they have against Aaron Hernandez's fiancée. Cheyenne Jenkins was back in court today. She's charged with perjury in connection with Odin Lloyd's murder. Prosecutors have until December 2nd to lay out exactly when they believe Jenkins lied under oath.
No, at 6 o'clock tonight. Well, he certainly tried hard twice to become governor of Massachusetts, and tonight we're learning just how steep Christy Myhos's fall from grace really has been. As Beth Germano shows us, divorce records now show Myhos spent $25 million on politics and prostitutes.
My life has been, 99% positive.
That was Christy Myhos in an interview with WBZ TV a year ago. But there's little positive in this divorce ruling, a case a judge calls unnerving and bizarre. Married for nearly 40 years, Andrea Myhos has been awarded most of the couple's remaining $4 million in assets. And the judge says Christy Myhos has no one to blame but himself.
If you're looking for something different, I'm your man.
It looked like happier times with wife Andrea when Myhos ran for governor. But the case reveals a family that never supported his twin runs for office, and the judge found Myhos to be deceptive, ego-driven, impulsive and rash, and ended up being financially devastating.
According to the judge's order, Myhos admitted he lied to and deceived his family when he said he wouldn't use personal funds in his two failed bids for governor. In his 2010 campaign, he also admitted it wasn't a serious bid, but what he called a lark.
Andrea Myhos' attorneys say he squandered an astounding $25 million since selling his convenience store empire, some on politics, a lot on prostitutes. His own daughter Ashley testified. She heard Myhos call his wife names that were vile and some of the worst names this court has heard. Myhos still faces charges of assaulting his wife in their lavish West Yarmouth home that sits behind these gates and has been ordered to be sold. The documents say Myhos admitted he did not consider the real consequences to those he loved the most, making this image more show than reality. Beth Germano, WBZ News.
Coming up on WBZ News at 6 o'clock, leader of the world champion Boston Red Sox, John Farrell, sits down with Dan Roche to talk about his team's magical ride and whether he was able to actually enjoy it.
Plus, a steam explosion explosion in Boston and the fear over a toxin that forced firefighters to evacuate the area.
Then, coming up on Wednesday's Child tonight, he goes with the name D-Man. He loved picking out his Halloween costume. You'll meet this wonderful little boy and hear about the family he dreams of finding.
And we've got that much needed rain on the way and perhaps some much bigger changes for next week. We've got the details after the break.
It's Empire's whole house sale. Buy 2 rooms and get carpet for the rest of your rooms free when you pay for padding and installation. Schedule a free in-home estimate now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. Okay, 6 more visits and you'll have your new dentures.
6?
6.
How about 3?
6.
4?
6.
4.5?
6.
5?
6. Okay, hold it. Let's try something new.
Okay, Mrs. Tucker, your dentures will be ready this Friday.
You can do that?
We do that.
No way.
Yes, way.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Aspen Dental is doing whatever it takes to give America a healthy mouth, like on-site denture labs for dentures in days, not weeks. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL because your mouth is our mission.
Experience over 40,000 square feet of American-made solid wood furnishings at LaChance Furniture. Choose from over 50 quality brands at outlet prices. LaChance Furniture showrooms. Take a ride to Gardner and see the difference.
One click on buyatoyota.com and you can find the biggest selection of Toyota inventory. And then see every Toyota special offer there is, even those not seen on TV. Buyatoyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals.
Sometimes, less is more, especially when it comes to knee surgery. See this apple represents your knee. With total knee replacement, the entire surface has to be removed. But with the Oxford Partial Knee from Biomed, you keep up to 75% of your healthy knee for a more rapid recovery with less pain, more natural motion, and a lifetime implant replacement warranty. The new study also shows Oxford patients were more than twice as likely to be satisfied with their ability to perform daily activities compared to total knee patients. Not all patients are candidates for partial knee replacement. Risks include, but are not limited to, loosening, dislocation, fracture, wear, and infection, any of which can require additional surgery. Only your surgeon can tell if this surgery is right for you. Why get a total knee if all you need is a partial? The Oxford Partial Knee. For a surgeon in your area, go to oxfordknee.com.
The most difficult part is getting started. For a moment I thought, I don't think I can do this every day. But once you take that first ride and you get to your destination, there's a certain feeling of accomplishment. You're releasing stress, you're releasing endorphins. It makes you smile. And we could all stand to smile a little more. My name is Paula, and Blue Cross Blue Shield has me.
It's Empire Today's whole house sale. Buy 2 rooms and get carpet for the rest of your rooms free when you pay for padding and installation. Schedule a free in-home estimate now.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
A huge steam leak in Boston causing concerns about asbestos. This was an underground steam pipe that ruptured. It happened on South Street, right here, just about a block from South Station and very close to Chinatown. The pipe ruptured right around 9:30 this morning. Nobody hurt. They shut the steam off right away. But they also had to evacuate one building, and the area was shut down because the pipes under Boston used to be wrapped in asbestos.
When we have a steam leak, like we had today, we want to test and make sure that none of that asbestos got airborne and got into the buildings or is on the streets or the sidewalks right now.
This should be reassuring. All those tests came back clear. Tonight, the only part of the street that's closed is the spot where the steam actually started leaking. Jack?
Well, Lisa House lawmakers need to try it again. Up on Beacon Hill, they passed a crackdown on welfare fraud. The bill actually requires the state to record and track blank benefits cards to try to find out if they're being abused. It requires applicants to prove they're looking for work before they're granted benefits. The Senate approved a separate crackdown bill over the summer.
Well, what a day we had. Temperatures up around 60 degrees, enjoyed some sunshine, but just enough cloud cover to give us a perfect sunset. This one sent in from Jim and Lowell. Look at that, sky on fire, the Reds We've had some cirrus and some altocumulus coming through in many spots across the northeast corridor, also enjoying gorgeous sunsets tonight. There are the clouds starting to move in that helped create that scene, part of the storm that's really lining up off to our west. And the same one that brought snow to Minneapolis and down across parts of South Dakota yesterday. It's all mild there now. You see any snow is way on up into Canada. So a surge of mild air keeps our temperatures up tonight. Right now we're in the 50s. We should really stay in the 50s as we head toward midnight and beyond. And then tomorrow morning it'll actually be up around 60 degrees as you head off to work and school. So after Monday and Tuesday morning, everyone was shivering to start the day. Not going to be the case tomorrow. However, we will be talking about some showers moving in with all this, and it is much needed rain. The clouds will be advancing tonight. Through the morning will be scattered showers. It's not a big shield of rain. It won't be downpouring everywhere, so it is very likely you may walk out the door and say, hey, it's pretty dry right now. This is nice. But as we head through midday and early afternoon, more of a shield of rain moves across right along the front. Looks like the heaviest totals will be south and east in Boston, with lighter totals to the north and west of the city itself. So the morning pans out with temperatures in the 50s, gusty southwest breeze at 10 to 20 miles per hour. By midday, we're in the 60s. The heaviest showers likely to be in southeastern Mass. Winds starting to shift with a little more of a westerly component, and then it's straight out of the west by the evening commute. We'll clear from west to east. The rain will start to taper off, and we'll see those winds stick around. They'll stick around through Thursday night and into Friday as colder air moves into the region. Do we need the rain? Absolute drought is being reported across much of southeastern parts of the state. This is not a perfect recipe to get rid of that, but it will help. It's better than seeing all dry weather, which is what we expect for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Watching the colder air pour down on Friday on gusty northwest winds. So we head toward the start of the weekend. Starts out bright. Some clouds will start to move in on Saturday afternoon. These are mainly high cirrus clouds. I know you're seeing some rain and snow in here. I think at most we see a couple of light rain showers locally as we head through Saturday night and early Sunday morning. That will be about it. And our story for next week is a potential shift with much colder air moving down the eastern seaboard. And this could allow some storminess to develop. A real big shift in the overall pattern across North America and the Atlantic. Right now, most signs of a storm will develop somewhere down toward the mid-Atlantic. Likely move out to sea. It would be cold enough for snow. Can't really call it yet. It's too far out. Wouldn't get too excited, but it is something we're going to have to watch. So if you're making weekend plans, I think Saturday is the pick to be outside. Sunday, maybe an early shower. Many towns stay dry. We're up to 50 in the afternoon. And it's pretty much Veterans Day Monday before the big front rolls through. And that could take us all the way back to highs in the 30s by next Tuesday. If you're a fan of winter, maybe you're excited. Lisa, Jack, over to you.
Many people are. Thank you, Eric. Think about it. A week ago tonight, we were looking ahead to Game 6.
And, you know, we're still celebrating. It's still great. Still pinching ourselves.
Absolutely. We don't want it to end, and that's just the case here. Red Sox season is over, but that championship feeling is going to last a long time, especially with this team. It was a magical year. You know what's funny? Some players don't know what to do now. They didn't want it to end. And what a crazy year it's been for John Farrell. Taking over a last-place team and leading them all the way back to a World Series championship. It was 1 week ago, as Lisa said tonight, that the Sox beat the Cards in Game 6 to clinch it. In an interview for Sunday Night Sports Final, the Sox manager talked to our own Dan Roche today about the wild ride.
How much did you enjoy it? Were you able to enjoy it? Was it that much, or did it go by like that?
Maybe a little both, and what I mean by that is when you're in the moment in those games, and you know, Dan, I think we all recognize that in 6 and 7 game series, there's going to be some games inside that are one-sided, and you kind of just find a way to get through it and navigate through it. Okay, let's turn our attention to tomorrow. These games are right down to the final pitch, the final play, the final swing of the bat. And every game seemed like 3. You came away from them emotionally drained, physically fatigued. So you're grinding through it, but then when that last strikeout of Koji, it's gone in a flash. And that's the bittersweet part of it, because throughout the grind, you are riding the high and you're riding the lows. And when it's over, you look back saying, man, let's do it again.
What a job he has done. You can hear much more from John Farrell on Sports Final Sunday night after WBZ News at 11. Okay, so what is up with the Celtics? They have yet to win a game, but so is the team they're playing tonight at the Garden, the Utah Jazz. Both are 0-4, so something has to give. Keep in mind, the Celtics haven't started the season 0-5 in 67 years. And there was great drama on Causeway Street last night. Bruins and Stars. Tyler Seguin making his first trip back to Boston since being traded to Dallas. They went to a shootout. Seguin beat Tuukka Rask to tie it at 1. And then the other former Bruin, Rich Heavily, beats Tuukka to win it. Yeah, that one hurt. After the game, Seguin admitted he was looking forward to this one for a long, long time.
Going to the game, I said I didn't know what to expect.
Heard some cheers, some boos, but it was a great hockey game, a great win. You know, I've been asked the question a few times if I got a contract or a trade to come back here or asked. I don't think I would come back. I mean, I think in the end you want to play where you wanted, and you know, I have great relationships with our coach and our GM here, and you know, I know how much they want me, and you know, it feels great to play here. And I guess that's all I got to say on it.
Ouch. And the Revs have game 2 of their first-round playoff series tonight. Kansas City. The Revs took game 1, 2-1 at Foxborough on Saturday. And that score carries over to tonight. So the Revs only need a tie to advance to Eastern Conference Finals. The Patriots are off this week. But we'll recap the first half of the season on Patriots All Access Friday night at 7 right here on WBZ. There you go.
What am I going to do without a Patriots game?
You're going to watch these other games right here on 4.
Oh, okay.
Doubleheader for you.
Yes, Steve.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. CBS Evening News coming up in a moment at 6:30.
And Scott Pelley joins us live from New York with a preview. Scott?
So Jack, great to be with you in Boston on the broadcast tonight. A beautiful look in New Hampshire at the Penobscot River, a river that was heavily dammed over more than 100 years. But now that they're tearing the dams down, we're going to show you the dramatic change that has occurred on one of America's great historic waterways. We'll have that story and all the latest world news for you on the CBS Evening News in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, we'll look forward to it, Scott. Thank you. Still to come on Wednesday's Child tonight. We took Damani costume shopping just before Halloween. This smart and sweet kid is going to really charm you.
Ever feel like someone is watching you?
Typically, voyeurs are non-violent. This one is different.
A new Criminal Minds. Then...
Greg Sanders, meet defense criminalist Jennifer Rhodes.
In the most intense episode of the season,
I'm accused of planting evidence.
2 CSIs could lose everything.
Slowly drop your arms straight down. Come through as a CSI.
All new CSI after an all-new Criminal Minds. CBS tonight.
Looking for something a little different for your home? At Circle Furniture, we offer gorgeous upholstery, stylish rugs and accessories, and beautiful New England-made hardwood furniture. Order today for holiday delivery. Circle Furniture, made for real life. Toyota.com and you can find the biggest selection of Toyota inventory. And then see every Toyota special offer there is, even those not seen on TV. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's official website for deals.
The perfect stocking stuffers. The Jewelry Exchange has infinity. Journey, circle, and cross pendants for $99. Diamond studs for $59. Pearl necklaces $39. And 1-carat diamond and tanzanite pendants $49. Buy diamond and factory direct. The Jewelry Exchange in Sudbury.
Now, in less time than you ever imagined, you can breathe new life into your basement and add much-needed living space to your home with the Owens Corning Basement Finishing System. Did you know installing drywall can take months? But our system is installed in about 2 weeks with virtually no mess. So in practically no time, you'll not only finish your basement, you'll transform your home. Call 1-800-BASEMENT now for a free video and design consultation. It's a fact. Nobody knows basements better than Owens Corning.
Skiers!
Boarders!
It's the Boston.com Ski and Snowboard Expo presented by Subaru of New England, November 14th through 17th at the World Trade Center.
Save big, up to 70% on gear and clothing at East Coast Alpine's biggest preseason sale.
Get Expo-only deals on season passes and winter vacations.
Catch the Fall Brawl competition, Olympic Aerial Show, and Long Trail Spear Garden.
The Boston.com Ski and Snowboard Expo, Thursday through Sunday, November 14th through 17th at the World Trade Center. Info and tickets at onthesnow.com or see the Boston Globe.
Entertaining this holiday season? Get your home holiday ready with gorgeous furniture from Circle Furniture. Our American-made upholstery comes in exciting fabrics and styles. Order today for holiday delivery. Circle Furniture, made for real life.
On Wednesday's Child tonight, we take you back to the eve of Halloween and an 8-year-old boy in search of a perfect costume.
Yeah, his name is Damani, but he also uses the nickname G-Man. He's fun, he's sensitive, and he's ready for an adoptive family.
I am Iron Man.
Costumes, lots of them. Which one is best for Halloween? Well, that's up to Monty, who goes by the name D-Man.
Hi everybody, my name is D-Man. We're getting ready for Halloween.
Damani, or D-Man, has been in state care for several years. He's smart and fun, even though he had to endure a lot as a little boy. I asked him about an adoptive family.
One that's my color.
So you want somebody who's African-American?
Yes.
And what else? You want a mom and a dad? Just a mom, just a dad? Have you decided?
Mom and a dad.
I see. And what would you bring to a family? Would you help?
Yes.
What would you do around the house?
Some chores.
Would you? Whoa, whoa. D-Man. What would he bring to a family?
He would bring love, joy, energy. Damani's been in a group home for quite some time now, and will need a longer transition than some of our kids. He is very smart. He is on an IEP. Just started a brand new school in the 3rd grade and doing really well.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Really? Are you pretty smart?
Yes.
All set.
Bye everybody, trick or treat.
Well, I realize it's a little late for the Halloween, but because of the Red Sox and all of this, we had to hold it off a week, but people get a big kick.
Well, especially because it just shows how adventurous he is, too. I mean, trying on different things, and, you know, D-Man actually sounds like its own superhero.
D-Man. He went to Superman, by the way.
He is Superman.
For more information on D-Man or Damani, you can call the Massachusetts Adoption Resource Exchange, 1-800-882-1176. And for success stories, check out my website, jackwilliamswednesdayschild.com.
And we'll be back with more right after this.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Massachusetts. We're dedicated to helping our members live happier, healthier lives.
The beautiful house, the fancy car, the wardrobe you can only dream of. Wonder how the other half does it? Well, BZ found most millionaires have a few things in common. Simple daily routines that can really pay off. Want in on their secrets? 6 Habits of Highly Wealthy People, tonight on WBZ News at 11.
At Mako, we're experts in both collision repair and auto painting. We've serviced over 17 million cars and offer a nationwide warranty. So come to the body shop that's easy, affordable, and reliable. Mako, America's body shop.
That's no way to enjoy the game. You need my Bob's All Value Team.
All the benefits of top grain at a fraction of the price.
My Mercury bonded leather sofa and love seat looks like top grain.
Baby soft.
And even sits like top grain leather. But it's only $7.99, and that's for both pieces.
In your choice of black or red hot red, only $7.99.
Need a sleeper? Only $200 more.
Gonna need more nachos.
Tonight on WBZ, don't miss new episodes of Survivor, Criminal Minds, and CSI. Then, stay tuned for WBZ News at 11. Tonight's lineup is by New England Cadillac dealers.
Who calls Amica for auto insurance? People who know what value is all about. Because when you call Amica, you get more than a great price. We'll talk with you about your coverage options, answer every question, and customize a policy that's perfect for you. It only takes a few minutes to get a free, no-obligation auto insurance quote. So call Amica now. We also offer a wide variety of auto insurance discounts. And we'll make sure you save every dollar possible from every discount you qualify for. When you call, ask how you can save even more by combining your auto and home insurance. Then you'll have your policy with a company recognized for customer service. And if you have a claim, that's when Amica really proves our worth. With claim service that will take care of every detail and is there for you every step of the way. For the savings and the service, it's always worth it to call Amica. Call 866-58-AMICA. See how much you can save today and meet the company you'll stay with for good.
At Mako, we're experts in both collision repair and auto painting. We've serviced over 17 million cars and offer a nationwide warranty. So come to the body shop that's easy, affordable, and reliable. Mako, America's body shop.
For
original reporting at its best. One more reason America's fastest growing network evening newscast is the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley.
Coming up tonight at 11 on WBZ News, the secret to getting rich might depend in part on your habits. The simple steps millionaires take that could change your life. Tonight at 11.
Simple?
Simple. Yep.
Got my attention.
Oh, yeah. The mystery of the Google barges is partly solved.
Well, two mysterious barges that appeared in Portland, Maine and San Francisco Bay have been tracked back to the internet giant Google, but Google wasn't talking until today. The web company says it plans to use at least one of the barges as an interactive learning center where people can experience new technology. And you can talk to very rich people and find out what they do.
That's right. Get some simple
Count their money.
explanations. We have time for a simple explanation about tonight's weather.
Simple. Tonight, pleasant, 50s. So
Right.
it may dip in the 40s really quickly, but they'll rise after that. The clouds move in, showers around tomorrow. I think the more concentrated rain is around midday, early afternoon, and then cold, windy Friday.
Okay, it'll be Friday.
It'll be fun. TGI.
Just remember, folks, buy low, sell high.
Thank you, Uncle Jack.